with Advance to Glam's new video. I have a friend on the phone.
Hi.
You get to be a part, but I'm gonna do diamond art. It's cows! Ah! I didn't know what this style was gonna be, and it turned out to be cows, and I'm actually really happy about it. So, talk about how you fell on your face again?
Yeah.
Just 1 foot.
1 foot cartoon character. So, we're walking to school.
Do me a favor.
Right?
How many?
I was walking to school. It's like 50-mile winds. And I'm 5'5", so I'm easily getting pushed back. And I lift one leg up to take a step, like most normal people do.
Mm.
Seek help if you don't. I'm joking.
I mean, I kind of drag my feet a little bit, but that's because I don't know. I don't know why I do that. I probably shouldn't. It's gonna ruin the soles of my shoes. It already has.
So, I lift my leg up to take a step. My other leg is still on the ground. It gets pushed by the wind. So I go falling forward like a cartoon character. And I land flat on my face. And the little pitch squeak yell that came out my mouth, I looked around and was like, oh, hold on, wait, did I make that sound? There ain't nothing around me. So I sit there for, I lay on the ground for a good second.
I mean, I bet it probably hurt.
Like, did I make that sound?
Do you have a bruise on your face?
Continue my walk.
Did you get a bruise from it, or did you narrowly avoid that?
Oh no, my nose was bleeding.
Oh, you hit your nose. Oh.
Yeah, my nose.
Your nose broke your fall.
Yeah, I hit my nose, but it was bleeding, and then it wouldn't stop throughout the day.
That happened to me once when I got hit in the face with a volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't a nurse, right? Because it was
The kid definitely did it on purpose.
It was like lunch. My nose hadn't stopped bleeding.
Oh.
We look up, and there's, you know those little tiny pieces of rock cement?
Yeah.
Up my nose.
That makes sense. You did kind of fall into the rocks.
So I had to like do one of those things to get it out.
Yeah, just blow your nose.
I'm just blowing my nose to get it out. And I kid you not,
What happened?
it cut my nose coming out.
Oh, no.
So my nose was bleeding for the next like 6 minutes, and I'm like,
No!
And then it finally stops.
Fine. To be fair, I've only ever had like 3 bloody noses in my lifetime.
I was a clumsy child. I've had plenty.
But they never lasted very long. But I guess I've never been, like, hurt that badly. But I've also never been in a fight, so...
One fight in my lifetime.
Oh. What did you do?
Fought my brother.
Everyone fights their siblings. It's not called fighting, it's called being siblings.
No. Well, if we're talking real fights, I've been in one, and I won.
I mean, I'm usually in verbal fights, but, like, it's usually me calling them out on being an idiot.
Fair.
I can't...
I'm in a physical fight, and I still won.
I've never been in a physical fight, Never needed to be. Usually I'm smarter than them, and they find that horrifying.
Well, they threw first, so...
Well, I mean, yeah, if they throw first, it gives me a very good reason to just annihilate, but nobody's ever actually attempted to throw the first punch with me. I'm actually really shocked my best friend has not punched me because I do not hold my tongue properly.
Oh, me while fighting you with the most random string of curses ever, but in a way that it makes sense.
Oh. How would that work?
Like, I'd be...
Usually I swear in different languages.
I only know one language, and that's English, so...
The reason I do it is because I do not want to swear at a person in English. And I do not know why.
So
But usually my default is Irish or Swedish.
I can curse in
Occasionally
English,
Russian.
but, like, I can blur it out. Like, I'll say the first 2 syllables of a cuss word, but then it'll just stop. And then I can just continue my sentences. Like, I didn't just almost swear.
I mean, that's a skill you need in high school, you know?
Oh no, I swear freely there. Freely.
The reason I never swore in high school was not because of rules or anything. It was literally because I just didn't believe children should swear. I don't get it either.
Well, when you deal with dumb teachers and dumb students, you get pretty used to swearing.
Oh no, trust me. Everyone was dumb, but like, a lot of people knew how to hold their tongue with swears, but not with like, insults. One girl called me a fake witch. I called her a fake bitch.
Whoa!
I mean, not in those words. I walked back to her after walking away after she insulted me, like, you're a fake witch. And I walked away. I was like, okay, so? And then I was like, you know what? You're faker than I'll ever be. Said it in front of the entire class, too. Walked away again. I did not like her.
See, I called a girl the B word, and she went and told her friends. So her friends came up to me during lunch.
Oh, I'll talk to people in front of people.
For calling her the B word, and I was like,
I'd call her a coward.
Go ahead, slap me, I dare you, I like it.
What?
No, that's exactly what I said.
It's so fucked. No, I'd call them a coward, cause like, so you want to do this like privately, but not in front of a crowd, kind of shit. Like, or you didn't want to say it back then, but you're gonna say it now. What are you, a coward? Dumb bitch. I don't like cowards. You tell me what you really think, and I'll tell you what I think. But maybe I'm just a little evil.
Aren't we all?
I would hope not. I'd hope there's good in this world, somewhere.
I doubt that, but I gotta go.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. I'm glad she's doing well. Even though her parents took her computer away that she does schoolwork on, and her only way to do schoolwork is with her computer, but they were mad at her for not finishing or doing her schoolwork. That does not make sense. Like, you want her to do her schoolwork, you want her to pass her classes. Why did you take her computer? Her one and only way to do it. Like, the idiocy. I don't like dumb people. If a parent really cares about their child, just ask them things and don't judge them, no matter what the answer is. They'll come to you more often with information. You can give them advice, but you have to make sure you're saying it in the right tone, you know? Because my brother, when he gives me advice, he does it in this bitch tone. I love my brother. His advice is great. But why does he sound like an unconceivable asshole? It's so annoying. If people call me, do I answer the phone no matter who it is? Yes. I usually answer and give advice. Do not ask me to show up places or anything, because that's an immediate no. And just like, I wish I could just like live here and be somewhere safe. And I'm like, well, I mean, you can't come here. There's many reasons why I said that, though. But I don't mind listening. Very much so, you'll always listen. I'll laugh with you, I won't judge. I'm great at being like an aunt or a sibling, but I'm not gonna be a parent. The reason I liked just hanging out with the kids I babysat was not for any weird reason. It was literally just, I wanted them to have a sibling that wouldn't judge them, especially since their parents were always so mean. And I was a great babysitter. Made sure they didn't kill themselves and gave them advice. I'm still a decent babysitter. I'm not great with children though. Because every single kid I've ever had to take care of, why do they always like end up so messy? Like, why are they so messy? So that's like one thing I will always teach them is, this is why you do this. Be clean so that you do not get diseases or bugs. It doesn't matter what age group you are. I'm going to teach you sanitariness. Very, very slowly and over time. They will learn the lessons of why you should be a clean person. Because that's all that matters to me. Is people are nice to each other and clean. Which is hilarious because I do insult all of my friends. And I also insult idiots. But it's mainly because if a person says something with only their personal experience, but not with facts and, like, background knowledge, I do not care what they have to say fully. Like, yes, you're probably right, but you're not 100% right until proven right. Like when they were studying what the stars were, there were so many theories of what the stars were. Some people thought they were gas clouds. Some people thought they were just balls of fire. And it turned out every single theory that they wrote about what the stars could be was correct. Which is also why I don't pray to just one God. I believe they all exist. Like, Aeolus, the god of the wind. Probably saying the name wrong. Let's be honest here. I have not been a person for pronunciation. Which is ironic because I read a story that I've written for you all. This is so cute. So I was giving cow stickers to like my friends and stuff and coworkers, and the funniest thing happened where I was like, oh, you like cows because they like look like you, to one of my friends. That has a double meaning. Like my cow stickers, they're cute and they got like chibi faces. But calling someone a cow in English is the same as calling them fat. And well, they knew I didn't intentionally call them a cow, because the stickers were cute and we were all talking about how cute the stickers were. Then I said she looked like the stickers. And the stickers were of cows. She didn't take it as a fat joke, but it really was unintentional. Because I was just trying to call her cute as the chibi cows, not call her a cow. That's so bad. And I told my other friend that knew her, and she was like, how did you get away with that without her thinking you were calling her fat? She's so insecure. And I'm like, I mean, the context is important. Without the context, half of the things I say are awful things. And I'm just like, oof. People are gonna clip my videos years down the line, making it look like I said some really awful shit. And meant it, as is. But technically you can do that with anyone anyway, because AI exists. You can make it look like the president said whatever you want, which is really dangerous to give people that much power. Anyway, this cow has a bow on her head. That's so cute. But since it's so dark and it matches the background, it doesn't look like a bow. guess from, like, the high height that I put my camera at, it does. I guess that's what matters. But closer and in person, it looks a little bit different. Another thing, though, I know I had another story after the cow story. I remember. One of my coworkers was talking about how her ass is flat, and was like, yeah, this guy would know, because when I fell on my ass was the important context that was missing from her first initial step. Like, how the fuck would he know your ass is flat? And she's like, because I fell on my ass, and now because I have no cushion, there's a giant bruise. But the way she said it was, this married man knows that I have a flat ass. Because he's been looking at it, was the opposite connotation. That did not happen. But, like, that's how any outsider would hear that statement. And I immediately was just like, damn, no, why did you say it like that? This poor married man with his lovely wife and few kids. Why did you do him like that? Why did you do him so good? Like, do not say that a man has seen your ass. And would know how flat it is. This poor married man just had to watch me just laugh at him for so long. Like, why did she say that? And he looked so like, whoa. You shut that combo down real fast. Like, what you saying I saw? It was so funny. I feel so bad for the manager. I'm like, why did she do that? She didn't have to say that. Or at least not like that. Like, this guy would know what my ass is flat. And I'm like, she just started laughing. And he's like, why are you enjoying this so much? And I'm like, because it's so cursed. And I know that she doesn't mean it in any weird context. But I know how others can hear it. It was so bad. And that's why it's important to have some form of filter. We talk about some of the wildest things at work, though. But, my workplace is really close to, a hospital. So we get a lot of nursing staff. They're usually really nice, which is fine. Like, yeah. But also, they work for, like, one of the worst hospitals in the state. So I feel bad for them to even have to work there. Like, I know it was probably the best option they had, but it still wasn't a good one. Does every state have, like, the hospital that nobody goes to because everyone knows it's a piece of shit and that they do not take anyone other than drug addicts usually because that's all that they can just handle? So whenever you go in there, they just immediately assume you're just another drug addict instead of a sick child that doesn't take care of themselves properly. Though I will state, I have gone to this hospital while malnourished, because it was close by and I didn't feel like driving very far because I was sick. And nobody else was awake to console me and tell me I'm just being delusional and that I'll be fine. But also at that point, it'd been 3 days and I did not eat a single thing and I drank no water. I was not eating, I was not drinking for 3 days straight. And so I was on an IV for a very long time. I was drinking a little bit of water, but just enough to keep my mouth wet, not enough to hydrate me properly. So probably would have suffered way worse if I waited any longer than to go to that hospital on the 3rd day of being so nauseous that I could not do anything. They kept assuming I was either pregnant or a drug addict. I am neither of those things. But after I was done, I was like, why didn't I just tell them I was a lesbian so they'd stop asking if I was pregnant? I like how that was the only thing that really bothered me, was that they were asking me if I was pregnant. It's like, no. I don't sleep with people. Not a possibility. But also, I think the last person I was even, like, in contact with of the opposite sex, in any form of way, was an ex from over a year ago. It's like I haven't seen them for over a year, so no. I think they dated like 3 different women in the time, if I remember correctly. Why am I keeping track? I don't fucking know. Because we're friends and we talk about our dating lives, and well, they have more of one than me, so we talk mostly about their life, not mine. It's not annoying. It's just friendship. But you know what? At least they're in my age group. Though if I would marry a man, it would probably be them. But I don't feel attracted to them. I just wanted to figure things out, like, why am I not attracted to men? I don't know. Just not at all. Have I ever been actually in love or attracted to anyone? Also no. Do I love my friends? Yeah, but am I attracted to any of them? Hell no. Are all of my friends very masculine people? Yes. I make very masculine friends. And And then I'm also friends with a lot of married folk. Because they're usually really polite. Though one of my friends is only engaged, and honestly, he saved his money for a tattoo instead of getting her a proper, like, engagement ring. And I'm like, I know money ain't why she's with him, but, like, she thought he was gonna get her an engagement ring. And she thought he'd save for one eventually. And so the fact that he didn't was just like, well, we knew he wouldn't, but then they're also trying to have kids, and he still won't prioritize marrying her. I thought you wanted to be together for the rest of your lives. Like, excuse me. Like, I don't care about sex before marriage, no. It's bullshit just to make it so, like, people get really disappointed. But also, I just feel bad for her. She really thought this man was gonna actually, like, fully have a proper ring for her. Not just, like, a cheap $20 one. For her to show off. Like, it doesn't even have to be a nice ring. It can be something really simple and quaint. Something that just matches her personality. Also, everyone keeps questioning why I think she looks good in gold. Have you seen her? Clearly not, because she's not on my channel, but, like, the people I know who know her, I just think she looks great in gold. It just fits her. I can style so many people better than I can style myself. But then again, fashion is based off of what is comfortable on you and what you're comfortable and most confident in. I'm more comfortable in a t-shirt and sweatpants. And I rock it with a pair of heels. Do they match? No. Does it need to? No. Because I'm comfortable. Also, do you like how I have so many of these trays that I could put each of them on a tray? So that I didn't have to bag them. I could just shake and then go for it. You know what? On camera, it actually looks better than in person. These look better far away. It is established. I also think my best friend will love them. Though not my best friend, one of my friends. I have a lot of people I know. Technically, I should only call them coworkers because we don't really hang out. They have their own friend groups. I'm just like an outsider. Maybe that's just like my inner monologue, just thinking too hard on things. I know people find me funny sometimes, because I'll say the most unhinged stuff, but I don't always feel like I'm included. And I get it. Like, the only reason I have any of my manager's phone numbers is because half of them were business partners or friends or family before I started working there. One of their numbers I have just because I wanted to send them something so that they had have access to a new banking app. Because Chime, if you send people a link and you're like a good enough member, both people get $200 after the person who got added got their first paycheck. Because you're supposed to set up auto pay with your account. If I put my code down in the description, would any of you actually use it? I'm probably not going to, since I'm not sponsored, but like, enough random people wanted to like set up auto pay to a Chime account and get like a 200 bonus on top of their first paycheck. I could give you my code, technically. Feel free to ask. There is winning on both sides for us. Which is pretty cool, you know? I like that Chime does that for its like regular members to get more people to be a part of the app. But cool things about Chime though is you can just go to certain stores and just put money in your account like that. You can go to a store, you can ask, hey, I need to put money on my card, and they can just do it for you. Like, you hand them the cash that you want to put on your card, and they put it on your card for you. Then you can just use your card instead of cash. Like, it's so convenient. So, like, if I get tips at work, which doesn't happen often, but it happens occasionally. I mean, who really tips on KFC? Let's be honest. Most of the time, we're not even making the food. We're just kind of guiding you through the menu. Which is why I tend to try to give my tips off to the people who made the food or prepared it for me. I'm just a service person. I just have a good voice. Which is probably why I get so many tips. A lot of people like to hear my voice. I remember once I was getting complimented on my voice on the mic and everyone could hear it. And I was like, thank you. And they're like, stop flirting with the customers. And I'm like, I'm not. I promise, no. I guess I have a really nice, soothing voice. Which is why I'm a good storyteller. I also hope people appreciate the different characters and their personalities, because they do have a meaning. Like one of my characters that I recently was like thanked about writing them the certain way that I did, like I would take a hit from her and for her. Is like a great way of saying I'd never hit a woman no matter what. Because even if it is abuse from them, they wouldn't fall down the same path of abusing them. It shows how good of a person the character is. It also shows good character in a man. Like, if you're willing to take a hit from a woman and for a woman, you're a better person than some of the men I've met who would actually fight a woman with full, like, strength and wouldn't care if they got hurt. This is not saying that you're, like, you have to take abuse from women. No. If a woman abuses you, do not take the abuse. But the average woman can't do that much damage to a man without a weapon. Like, you can avoid getting hit, but, like, hitting back in general isn't wise. Like, yes, I get it, you could technically consider it self-defense, but the reason I'm going to put that in quotes and not just it is self-defense is because I don't really think you need to fight back. I think you just should leave the situation. Like, don't continue to take the abuse, just leave. Under no conditions is it okay to hit someone, to me. And, like, I get it. If you're angry, you're gonna have an outburst. But how you rationalize or understand the outburst and explain it is the important part. But also, there's a difference between full-on hitting someone and just giving them a small little tap on the back of the head. Now, I will state, I do not like men. It's nothing against them. I just don't feel comfortable around men. It's just a thing. I call it trauma because, I mean, if you're uncomfortable around something, there's something to do with it. I just feel extremely uncomfortable around men. Even ones that I care about and trust, like my family members. Like, I know they won't lay a hand on me. I know they won't hurt me physically. But am I comfortable around them? No. It has nothing to do with them as people. It's my own issue. Though, with how irrational it is, it's the same as my fear of buttons, you know? Which is a very irrational fear, and I fully understand that. I don't know why. I shouldn't have the weird fear of buttons. It is the weirdest fear. And I can acknowledge that it's weird and that I just find it extremely uncomfortable and unsettling whenever I see buttons. So whenever I have to dress up as Makima or Maki, I'm so uncomfortable the whole time. I hate button-up shirts. Same thing with Charlie from Has-Been. The button-up shirt makes me uncomfortable. Same thing with Demon Slayer, when I wear the button-up for Mitsuri. It's the buttons that are making me uncomfortable. I don't like buttons. Same thing with pants buttons, and I just don't like buttons. I don't know. There's something wrong with me. It just grosses me out. It gives me extreme discomfort for no reason. It's very irrational. I'm guessing it's something deeply rooted. Maybe from a past life, maybe from this one. But it is a weird fear. And being able to acknowledge that it's weird says a lot about how I'm okay with who I am. Have you ever been called the wrong pronouns as like a cisgendered person? Because all of my cisgendered friends have been. Some of them find it funny, some of them laugh it off, some of them get super hyper offended, and it's kind of funny. I don't care what pronouns a person uses for me, because gender-wise, gender fluid. The only time I care is when they mark the wrong sex down in my medical charts, and it's because my medical charts need to be correct because sex is completely different than gender. And people who don't understand the difference between the definitions, it's okay. They are two very different things. I don't need them marking M, I need them to mark F, because that's what I was born as. Psychologically, do I see myself fully as a female? No. But, sex-wise, I am, and that's okay. And I'm confident enough in myself to understand that it doesn't matter. anything other than my medical papers. To be correct. Because if the wrong sex is marked in your medical chart, they might give you a medicine that could possibly kill you, or make your issues worse. Which is baffling to some, but genetic codes really matter, you know? The amount of hormones in the body matter when it comes to medicines. There are so many factors doctors have to calculate when debating on what medicine they're going to give a patient. But sex is a big one. Not gender, but sex. That's why I don't see why anyone would want to change the sex on their birth certificate, because, like, you can't change what you were born as. You can only change your gender. You can't change your sex, but you can change your gender. They're two completely different things. And that's the definitions that I use, because that's what I was educated on with science and psychology. I was always taught that sex and gender were completely different things. Sex is fully biological, gender is more psychological and hormone-based. Which is fine. That's why I'm like, yeah, trans people exist. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I also don't see the point of getting any form of surgeries or tattoos before you are fully developed. You know the brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25, but legally, we're allowed to do things before the brain is fully developed, which is completely weird and irrational, but people are going to do it regardless of whether it's legal. So I guess it doesn't really matter. But the fact that some people, the only thing stopping them from doing stuff is that it's illegal. Like, that's a good thing that's stopping you from doing that, but that being the only reason that it's stopping you, not that it's, like, socially unacceptable or weird or embarrassing, is wild to me. Like, I was watching this one video from this one professor, and you might know who I'm talking about. If you're part of the group chat, then you definitely know who I'm talking about. And well, he watched this video where it was a 40-year-old man. He was like, well, I mean, it can be any woman from between my age and the age 18. And I'm like, you don't see anything wrong with a 40-year-old man trying to date an 18-year-old? Like, the reason it's wrong is you'll definitely not have anything in common, but also, like, it's kind of creepy. But people who say that they're in a certain age group and they've had a crush on me, you're almost old enough to be my father. Why would you have a crush on me? Like, I'd understand if you, like, saw me as, like, a daughter. But like a crush? You're not a child. If you're a 40-year-old man and you're gonna try to flirt with someone who's 18 or 20, now that I'm older and wiser than when I was, I don't know, like even a year ago, I was a lot less just wise, and that just shows like personal growth in my opinion, that as I'm getting older, I'm just like, no, it is kind of creepy when people do this, and it does make me uncomfortable when dads flirt with me with their kids right there. And like, why are they not concerned at how old I might be? Because I don't look fully like an adult. So I'm kind of worried about these kids being with parents like that. But also, I could never fathom the idea of dating anyone who is younger than me by more than a year or two. I'm 21. Right now. I'm almost 22. Which means my range is about 2 years behind my age group and 2 years ahead of my age group. Would an age gap bother me less if, like, I didn't know their age and they didn't know my age? Yes, it would bother me less. But, like, if I'm gonna meet this person, I would like to be in their age group. I would like to have things in common with them. But, like, on my level, I'd want to get along with them within my generation. I'm a part of Gen Z. So people within my age group and my generation are all, like, eligible. Like, yeah. Like, I wouldn't judge anyone in my age group for flirting with me. Like, I get it. But outside of my age group, it feels like they're trying to look for someone who is a less emotionally mature person so that they can manipulate them into loving them. which gives me creep vibes. I am less emotionally mature than people that are way older than me. Am I decently wise in some things? Sure. Do I understand some things? Sure. But everyone has a level of understanding. But age really does play a big part in our development and how we think. Like, there is whole studies in psychology on how different age groups react to certain things and how they think completely differently. So when I do get the occasional comment, it is slightly off-putting. I have a rash forming on my face. Also, some of my coworkers that haven't seen me in a while, they saw me and they were like, "Oh my god, your nails are so long." And I'm like, well, I haven't really been working that hard with my hands. And I haven't been that stressed lately because I've been trying to take more of a break. And then I started working another job, so we'll see how long that lasts before I have just short nails again. That's actually how I can gauge how much anxiety I have, is whether I'm biting my nails or not. It is my gauge of anxiety. So, you'll never know whether I broke a nail or bit them down, but I sure as hell won't tell you whether it was panic attack or not. Because I'll probably forget about it. I was watching this one movie where they had time sped up, where people were aging so much faster. And like everything was decaying faster. And then like characters kept dying. And one of the characters was a dementia patient who was a serial killer. But one of the scenes that really horrified me was all of them had like medical conditions, which is why they were on vacation, was to just get away while they were live out their final days while they were still alive and have some fun. And well, one of the ladies had a bone decaying disease. I think it was osteoporosis. And the point of the island was to see how the disease would affect people deeper later phases of the disease if left untreated, and they could not escape the island unless they swam under the coral reef. But the lady with osteoporosis at one point started attacking the two youngest members of the group, and at one point her bone broke. And since injuries heal instantly on this island, when it swung in the opposite direction, it healed backwards. And, well, it was so gross. Like, I held my arms. I was so uncomfortable. And she just kept breaking all of her bones by just moving forward, because her disease kept progressing too. So every single bone in her body kept breaking as she moved. And she was just slowly breaking. Also, the two kids that were in the movie ended up becoming teens, and one of them got pregnant. I thought they were siblings. I don't know if they were cousins or siblings or just friends because their parents were friends. But I didn't know how to feel about that because I didn't really have the context of whether they were related or not. And I just hope they're not. Because then there was just a whole incest line. And she miscarried a baby. I just hope they weren't related. That's my TED Talk for that one. Yeah. Though I will say some of the best people I met at the con were not my age group, and I was kind of upset that I couldn't find like friends within my age group except one person. I made one friend that was in their 20s, and they were a socially awkward mess with no friends with them. And I was like, we claimed you. You are our friend now. We claimed an introvert amongst the introverted. The reason I'm an introvert is because I lose energy when I talk to people. That's kind of the definition I was given of what an introvert is talking to people exhausts you and makes you extremely anxious and tired. It does exactly that for me. Even like 3 minutes of a conversation can make me kind of like, I want to go home now. And small talk kills me. Talk about something interesting, please. It's like I don't care really how your day goes. Because after enough, okay, good. I'm doing okay. How you? You get really bored of it and annoyed. I don't really like talking that much to begin with. Which is ironic, because I'm talking a lot right now, because, I'm trying to be interesting and make content for you all to listen to. Because I know this video is probably not going to be the most entertaining to watch. I know the next video I have to film, I'm going to be silent the whole time, so I'm probably going to put on headphones. And it's so I can use the footage to film the next chapter of the story. Sorry you don't get to see the rest of Sir Hein's love arc yet. There's other things going on. And also, that's just a subplot that I added for fun. It's not the main part of the story. I mean, I know, I make really interesting subplots to my stories. I'm glad y'all like them. And I do give different POVs to each of the characters. But what's going on is very important. But I promise there is a reason that you know these characters and that I'm writing about them, and that they do connect to the main story eventually, and that everything in this story it is connected. Also, do you like the spelling of like the names that I chose for my characters? Find them interesting. I also chose their names for a reason. All of their names have meanings. Very important meanings too. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, my fab fans. Peace, love, have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!